This chapter further cements my claim that Fujimoto is just an absolute monster at laying out the scene and just getting things all set up for the viewer. It doesn't have to be like some crazy explanation chapter, it doesn't have to be some big build up. It can just be a chapter where the readers are put at an absolute like state of awe. And I've always loved that about Chainsaw Man. I think that I personally believe that Fujimoto and all of his like clear like uh, loves for movies and stuff. Like if you've read Fire Punch, it's clear that he's like a film guy. He probably watches a lot of like weird indie movies too. But I think all these things have really just crafted his ability to just set up a scene where like I said, all you're doing is just taking it in. And like this chapter starts out, you got a little boy who's like getting ready to go play soccer. You know, one of his parents is like, "Oh, here, hang on," you know, gives him some money. He's like, "Here, go, you know, go buy some drinks with your friends." You know, just little kid having a good day. And that day went immediately horrible as the Gun Devil just completely ravaged everything around him. And keep this in mind: the time period that this started was 3 o'clock, 3:18 and 21 seconds. And this is 3:18 and 22 seconds. We've already seen all these characters die, all this destruction, all this decimation. 1 second later after that, Makima sights the Gun Devil at a distance of 500 kilometers. We know that her level of range seemingly is all of Japan. She has a very high level of just like AoE and influence that she can get like a deadlock on this zone. Like you have to be careful, obviously, when just approaching Makima to fight her. You can't just go out and be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go in and rush her building." No, it looks like she has like full control and authority over this domain. So yeah, be much more careful when it comes to trying to challenge this character. But you just see name after name after name of characters getting killed, and like I said, like by the time this is over, by the time we get to the very end of this chapter, it's only been going on for 7 seconds. 7 seconds, and all these characters are just dying. They are just dying drastically, immensely, and in all ways horrifically. But after that point, like, the Gun Devil stops. It's only been doing this thing for 4 seconds. It's already caused so much devastation. I almost picked the panel to where it's talking about how like the Gun Devil, like it's like ability activation, gunfire towards Makima, and you know there's some characters dying. But I almost picked the point where there's just a bunch of characters looking onward, and you just see all these big ass bullets flying across the air towards a location. And keep this in mind as well. The Gun Devil is 500 kilometers away, and its bullets are reaching Makima. It's just flying towards him. Makima's got like these chains come out of her. She's got them attached to, she's still got them attached to Aki, as well as the Angel Devil. A bullet goes through her head, and it says the 29th recorded death of Makima. 29 recorded, not just in general. This is the ones that they've just been able to observe. A bullet goes through Makima's head, and she has like a halo come out in the shape of like it's made of part of her brain. So what I'm wondering is if during this, if that has to do with the fact she's using all these guys' abilities, or like, I was thinking about it, like I don't think the halo made a lot of sense by itself, but obviously if she's using one of the powers, like all these guys, if she's got the power of the Angel Devil, she's gonna have like his halo, because we know his halo is what stores in these weapons and stuff. Gets this flesh halo, has one appear over the Gun Devil, and on top of all the abilities she has, I imagine that this is her ability, because so she's got like she's got her control devil spot. Is anybody that she controls, she gets their powers, and that's why we've seen like her having like being able to crush people from a distance. She's able to like see through rats and birds and stuff. So those must just be people that she's got under her control, because she makes this giant flesh halo over the Gun Devil, very similar to how the Angel Devil, like how his halo works, and just uses all these guys' abilities: Angel Devil, Spider Devil. She's using contracts to use the Future Devil, the Snake Devil, the Punishment Devil. She's just using all these mass abilities and just drops this giant, like, bloody set of beasts and like creatures and, well, devils really, on top of the gun devil, and just unleashing all these dudes right over his head, right over on top of him, and just all around immense, like, first 7 seconds, like I said, 7 seconds, and it meant 7 seconds into this fight, this much of devastation, and how fast these characters are just interacting and just reacting to all this. The thing I really like about this chapter and this whole event, it's like when you watch a war movie, you know, when you watch a war movie and they really just want to emphasize how kind of crazy the battlefield is, and there's no music, there's no talking, well, there'll be like yelling and shouting, there's no conversation. It's just like I said, it's just bullets ricocheting off stuff, explosions, and it's just shot for like different shots every few seconds of just showing all these different spots that are going on, because it wants to show you like how like fast-paced and chaotic a battlefield is, and just showing you like you know, one guy could be fine 1 second, dead the next. And I think that's essentially like how this, in my brain, that's how this chapter went. Like, little boy, he's like, oh cool, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. It's like, oh, don't worry, Slugger, here's some money, go get some food and some snacks, have your good old peachy keen day. And then just, all right, Dad. It goes outside, and then just explosions, just absolute devastation. There's all this chaos, bloodshed, and mayhem that goes down, and there's just nothing. There's just nothing to really go against it. There's no, oh, hang on, we're mobilizing this force. The only force right now that's able to do anything is Makima, and we know Makima isn't the. She's not the nicest of individuals. We don't know exactly her overall goal. I think she's kind of like going to be this kind of like weird neutral evil, like where it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to create like peace, or, you know, I'm going to create a world of tranquility, but it's by pretty much enslaving everybody and taking away everything that makes them people. And I really like how this is all just playing out. Like I said, just think about it. 7 seconds just went on. So you have all this stuff happening, all these different people dying, all this destruction, all this complete chaos, and Makima is just standing there. To her, it's been a few seconds of her looking like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And the gun devil's just moving closer, and she's just activating her abilities to drop in on him. While between these two giants just getting ready to really fight, all these people are being completely massacred in between them. And I think that's one of the more intensive aspects of it. Let's think about it. Because then you have the gun devil, who's literally like a giant devil kaiju, and Makima, who isn't that big. Like, obviously she's people sized, but in terms of power, she can match this guy, if not overcome him. So really, you have these two colossal titan levels of power character who are now, you have one of them moving towards the other one, and everything in his wake is just devastation. And there's just so many just normal people caught up in the crossfire, and then they're just like, well, shit, this is really unfortunate. It's like those people that were looking and seeing all these bullets fly. I'm wondering if those were the people that died, because it looked like they were a family, so I'm guessing maybe that was them. But if I saw this happening, I'd be like, fuck no, I'm getting out of here. Like, I'm leaving. There's no chance I want to be involved in any of this. This looks horrible. There's just bullets flying everywhere, and they're not just normal bullets. Look at the size of the gun devil. Those guns are massive. Those bullets are probably the size of damn vans. They would kill you. You wouldn't even get like, oh, I've been shot. Body gone. Body gone. There's nothing really left of you. And then after that point, we have like a little bit of ominous setup near the end with some knocking on the door. Power's asleep. Then she's like, oh, cool, Aki's home. He goes to like go to open the door. And you have a quick little flash of inside Denji's head. You have Pochita saying, don't open it. So I'm guessing whoever this is works for the gun devil. I would like to believe it's Reze, because here's the thing. We don't know if Reze is dead. We know that the hybrids are immortal, and there was no confirmation of like, okay, yeah, this is how we kill her. She's dead. We don't know that. And from what we know about Makima is she wanted to control people, and she already has the snake devil. She's already got the girl that controlled the snake devil. So it won't surprise me if she's got the katana devil, or I guess the katana hybrid, and the bomb hybrid, Reze, under her control. So if Denji opens that door and sees Reze, I'm so curious of like where Tabata will take, or Tabata, this is Black Clover, where Fujimoto will take this. Because Fujimoto has shown consistently and constantly, he completely builds up things you don't expect. It's completely like out of left field every time, which is really good, because I really like when you can where you have series where you can kind of construct an idea of what's going to happen. It's like, okay, you know, I've done all these things to kind of like get an idea of the author's mindset in order to hopefully be able to tell what's going to happen next. That's fun because you gotta pay a lot more attention to like not just like what happens in the story, but how does the author work? How does the author kind of like really construct things? And then when you get to Chainsaw Man, it's none of that. It's just like the author's like, just listen, just sit back, let me do things, and just let it all happen. Because you're not gonna go so well at trying to guess stuff that happens in Chainsaw Man. No, it's not gonna happen. What happens in the next chapter, I think, will be really, really, really character inviting. Like if it was just, oh, Denji goes to open the door, okay, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe there's a bad guy there. But the fact that it's Pochita specifically has to warn him, and it's the cliffhanger for the chapter, I feel like it's gonna have very big character like ties to it, and I'm very excited for that because I like Reze's character. I was really sad when she went away, and I've got my fingers crossed she's not dead, and I'm really hoping she comes back. So anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter. This was an absolute hype beast of a chapter. I love Chainsaw Man. It's so much fun. And I can't imagine anybody not reading it. Like, if somebody doesn't like gore and doesn't like stuff like that, maybe it's just not something that sits right with them. Okay. But if you can do gore and you're not reading Chainsaw Man, I don't know what you're doing. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter. Tell me your thoughts about what's going on right now in this series. And, man, I can't wait for this to get an anime. I just keep fingers crossed for a good animation group. But anyway, other than that, the thumbs up the video, friend, the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.